The propaganda surrounding Gaddafi's wealth. Following NATO's attack on Libya, Western and Arab media accused the late Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi of having astronomical volumes of wealth, which include money belonging to the Libyan people. It later surfaced that after the catastrophe of February 17th, the news circulating around different mediums was nothing more than slander and lies, aimed at misleading and inciting international and Libyan public opinion to distort the image of Qaddafi outside Libya and inside it. According to Libyan financial dignitaries working at the Central Bank of Libya, Muammar Qaddafi had an account listed in his name under the registration number of 1969, signifying the date of Al-Fatah revolution and containing 0 dirhams as a balance, with no funds going into the account since it was opened on the 2nd of March 1977, which was the date of the declaration of authority in Libya, i.e. the handover of power, wealth and arms to the Libyans. According to economic sources, the account was closed several times under the instructions of Muammar Qaddafi, but the management of the Central Bank of Libya overrode Qaddafi's instructions on the grounds that as a Libyan citizen, he can only open one bank account in accordance with Libyan law. There have been no evidence or official documents until today suggesting that checkbooks were provided with the purpose of withdrawal of funds from Qaddafi's account at the Central Bank of Libya. Sources have also confirmed that the absence of any bank accounts and personal properties belonging to the late Libyan leader Muammar Qaddafi has put the so-called Libyan Transitional Council and the new Libyan governments in a critical situation in the eyes of the Libyan people in terms of credibility. It added that what was said about Qaddafi in relation to stealing the money of his own people and having accounts containing billions of dinars in funds inside and outside of Libya was merely propaganda. On the other hand, however, the same committees were able to reveal the truth about inaccuracies in information broadcast by Western and Arab channels, especially after the scandal known as Paradise Papers, which we will tackle. Let us begin with the British Prime Minister, who was one of the first people to broadcast those false reports by announcing a plan to freeze funds that allegedly belonged to Muammar Qaddafi, to which the Libyan leader responded by refuting Cameron's slander and saying,
وتحدى كاميرون هذا تحدى كاميرون هذا.
I challenge this Cameroon.
خلي يجيب
let him show his evidence.
وعيب عليه رئيس وزراء دولة زي بريطانيا يقول هذا الكلام.
Please, it is shame upon him being a prime minister of such a state to say such things.
تحداهم.
I challenge him.
ونحط أصابعهم في عيونهم.
And I put my 2 fingers in their eyes.
إذا عندي أي حسابات
any accounts, whether it is inside or outside Libya.
David Cameron's statements were proven to be lies when the money that was frozen turned out to be investments on behalf of the Libyan people abroad, and it had no connection whatsoever with the Libyan leader himself. This money was the property of the Libyan nation and citizens. In contrast, Cameron was involved in a financial corruption case with Prince William following their involvement with FIFA, which was described as a serious financial corruption scandal following a deal signed with South Korea, which would benefit the UK. It is evident that Western and Arab media do report on the wealth of the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, who is toying with Saudi public money. He purchased a yacht worth around 2 billion Saudi riyals and a $1.5 billion painting called Salvator Mundi. The painting was bought for a price 4 times higher than its estimated value, not to mention what was retrieved from Saudi princes, especially Prince Mitab bin Abdullah, who was accused of corruption and was forced to recover $1 billion before his release. Furthermore, The Panama Papers and Paradise Papers have exposed the means with which wealthy individuals invest their money, especially Queen Elizabeth II. The papers published by the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists had shaken the British throne by implicating the Queen for millions of pounds, as they were based on 13.4 million leaked documents tackling 19 tax havens abroad, especially in the Cayman Islands and Bermuda. The documents also revealed that the trade minister appointed by Donald Trump had hidden shares in a company dealing with the Russians, a country which the United States had imposed international sanctions on. The documents also revealed that the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was involved in the scandal relating to the German submarines, which still haunts him until today. Arab and international media reported on the exploitation of Qatari wealth to finance terrorism under the instruction of the Qatari Emir, who is the first supporter of terrorism and terrorists, and who spread corruption in his country with the help of Al Jazeera network, which also supports terrorists and promotes lies and fabrications to bring Arab states into the grip of terrorism, as it sought to destabilize the security in the Arab region and cause bloodshed by spreading strife among people in the same country. After more than 7 years, with over 50 committees trying to carry out investigations in Libya, having come from the African Union, the European Union, the United Nations and Libya itself, and who were commissioned by the United States, using the most internationally renowned investigators at a cost of tens of millions of dollars, no one had been able to find any money belonging to Qaddafi or his family. Could Qaddafi have outsmarted them all to this extent? Or is it that he actually had nothing, and what has been reported is just a media war launched against him? As for the accusations surrounding Dr. Saif al-Islam's ownership of a house in Britain, where the media kept wavering between him and the engineer Saidi as to who owns it, it later became clear that the house does not belong to either of them. The British newspaper responsible for publishing these articles had to withdraw the reports after 7 years of defamation and the spreading of lies. This is how the Western media launched its false propaganda campaign against the Libyan leader Muammar Qaddafi to distort his image. However, when their lies, deceptions and motives were exposed, the propaganda surrounding Qaddafi's wealth was soon wiped out.